Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to CoMad. Remember me? I'm Zane. I was your AI host in 2024. It is truly a pleasure to be here again with all of you. For the past few years, CoMad had received many amazing responses and became a great success thanks to the enthusiastic participation and support from you, our dedicated audience. This year, we are very excited to bring something even more meaningful and enriching. Our sessions will now feature two main segments. The first segment, called Recensi Buku, will focus on book reviews, where lecturers and students explore and share their insights, ideas, and perspectives from a book they read, which can inspire both personal and professional growth. The second segment is our main program, which will be our CoMad sessions, consisting of webinars and discussions on various topics related to education, providing opportunities to exchange knowledge, experiences, and current educational practices. Whether you are here to discover new ideas, broaden your understanding, or simply be part of an engaging learning community, we hope CoMad continues to benefit and inspire all of us. Thank you, and enjoy the program.
Hello! Welcome to CoMad 2026. I'm Norella. I am your AI host for today. I would like to go over a few things as a reminder to all audience on the etiquette of attending this webinar. First, everyone who attends to this webinar series will be given an e-certificate after each session. Therefore, do not forget to register your full name once the link for registration is open. Make sure it is typed correctly and your email address is accurate too. Only for teachers or education officers in Malaysia, please make sure you also provide your IC number. You will find the registration link is pinned in the live chat box of this YouTube channel. Second, be respectful of others. When communicating, please be polite. Foul language will not be tolerated, and audience who are rude will be taken off the webinar. And third, we'd appreciate it if you could share today's webinar with others through your social networks. Thank you for taking time to listen to this reminder announcement. See you again soon. Terima kasih.
Welcome to Traveling Teachers Travelogue, a special feature program that showcases IPGKBA educational journey to Japan. Adopting the idea behind Shinkansen, Japan's iconic bullet train that links cities with speed, precision, and innovation, Traveling Teachers, Shinkansen of Knowledge, connects us with new insights, meaningful experiences, and unforgettable cultural discoveries. Delivered in 4 special parts, this feature captures the memorable moments, reflections, and educative encounters of the students throughout their visit in Japan. From exploring learning institutions and significant landmarks to experiencing daily life, technology, and traditions, each episode showcases how learning can happen beyond the classroom. So, sit back and join us as we journey together on Traveling Teachers to Japan, Shinkansen of Knowledge, where every destination becomes a lesson and every experience becomes a story worth sharing.
Konnichiwa, good afternoon everyone. My name is Nur Syaira binti Ahmad Supri.
Konnichiwa, good afternoon everyone. My name is Fateh Shamimi binti Zakaria.
Konnichiwa, my name is Nur Aisyah Amira binti Syamsul Baharu.
And we are final year TESOL student from IPG Campus Bahasa Antarabangsa. Today, 3 of us will be sharing about our experiences through Traveling Teachers IPG KBA 2025 Shinkansen of Knowledge, where we will talk about some key insights from our educational trip to Japan, which took place from 18 to 23rd December 2025. Now, we will be sharing these experiences from a TESOL and teacher education perspective. Shall we start with my friend here, Fatin?
Okay, thank you, Shahira. So rather than focusing only where we traveled, which is obviously Japan, this sharing aims to reflect on how or what the experience has taught us or how it reshaped our understanding of teaching and learning, especially from the point of view as a teacher, trainee. In this sense, the journey did not end when the trip concluded. It continued through reflection, discussion, and meaning making. Throughout the trip, we discovered that learning in Japan extends beyond the formal classrooms. Teaching practices, language use, and everyday social interactions all serve as meaningful learning spaces that offered insights into effective language instruction, literacy development, and intercultural awareness. So for my reflection, I'll be sharing across 3 main areas. First, educational insights onto the multidisciplinary use of English, explicit literacy, skill teaching, and intercultural observation. So, for the first area, which is based on our visits and observations, one of the most striking findings was that English is not treated as an isolated subject. In Japan, instead, it is integrated across different disciplines to make learning more practical, meaningful, and connected to the real life. So English in Japan is used as a tool to assess the knowledge rather than something that students memorize purely for the examinations. So now let's look into the few examples that we actually get to experience. So the first one, English meets maths. So one clear example of this multidisciplinary approach was how English was integrated with mathematics. So students there, during our visit at the Waseda University, we could see that the lesson used English in mathematics settings. So students work with charts, graphs related to the transportation data, where English was used by the students to label the titles, interpret informations, and compare the results. So in these activities, we see that students had to read, understand, and use English to interpret the numerical data. So they were also required to draw conclusions, such as identifying the mode of the transportation that was most popular there. So another example, how the multidisciplinary approach to English is being integrated in the classroom setting was how the naturally critical thinking was embedded into the language learning. So there, students were not memorizing the vocabulary in isolation. Instead, they used English to analyze data, justify the answers, and explain their thinking. So because the tasks were based on the real-life context, which is on the topic transportation, so students could clearly see the relevance of English in everyday situations. So this actually made the learning more engaging, purposeful, and meaningful. So from a TESOL perspective, this strongly reflects the 21st century learning where English supports life skills such as problem solving, decision making, and communications. So, from this experience, the key takeaway for Malaysian education, reflecting on the Malaysian education context, this approach highlights the importance of moving beyond rote memorization. So, by embedding English into cross-curricular and real-world tasks, we can help students first see English as useful and meaningful. Second, we develop them critical thinking, where they have to justify, um, make meaning from the information, and apply the language confidently beyond the classroom. So these also support student-centered and interactive learning, which is essential for preparing learners for real-life communication. Okay, so for the next part, the explicit literacy skill teaching. So another important education insights from the trip was the explicit teaching of literacy skills, especially since English is considered as a foreign language in Japan. So here, lessons were highly structured and clearly segmented. At each stage, students were made aware of which skill they were practicing, whether listening, speaking, reading, or writing. So this clarity helped students to focus on one skill at a time and build their confidence gradually. So one practice that really stood out to me and to us during our visit was the approach of one reads and all listen. Instead of using pre-recorded audio, students themselves became the listening input. So selected students, which was selected by the lecturer, they will read aloud while others listen carefully and completed the listening task. So this created a more authentic and interactive learning environment. So the prepared scripts were also commonly used. Rather than limiting the creativity, these scripts actually reduce the anxiety and allow the students to focus on the pronunciation, intonation, fluency, which is especially important in the TESOL context. Okay, so from this, what can we take as the insight for Malaysia education system? So in Malaysia, language skills are often taught in an integrated manner where multiple skills are combined in one lesson. For example, in lesson plan, we have complementary skill and the main skills. So while this has its strength, students may practice the skills without being consciously aware of them. So this may lead to the uneven skill development, especially for weaker students. So from this experience, I believe that a balanced approach would be beneficial where lessons are sometimes skill focused and explicit, and at other times integrated, allowing students to develop both awareness and flexibility in language use. All right. So, beyond the educational settings, Japan itself became a powerful learning space. So, for the intercultural insights, we could see that in public spaces such as trains and restaurants, people were quiet, respectful, and considerate of shared spaces. So, we could see that during our visit to few restaurants, so many restaurants even provided dividers or individual setting for solo eater. This allow everyone to enjoy their eating time peacefully. So people also walk quickly and valued the punctuality, reflecting a fast-paced yet orderly lifestyle. All right. So despite the language barrier, hospitality was consistently strong. So staff were polite, patient, and attentive, showing that effective communication goes beyond the language proficiency. One interesting cultural practice that we could see was the payment ethic, where customers place money in a tray instead of handing it directly to the cashier. So this reflects respect, order, and social awareness. These values actually indirectly influence the learning environment of the communities or the students itself because this shape students to be more disciplined, responsible, and also respectful. So as a TESOL student, this experience reminded me that language education is not only about grammar and vocabulary, it is also about values education, intercultural awareness, empathy, and the global citizenships. So, language learning should help the students become not only competent speaker, but also respectfully and socially aware individuals. So, I think that's all from me. So, how about you, Shaira?
Thank you so much, Fatin. Okay, regarding our program, right, which is the traveling teachers IPGKBA to Japan under Shinkansen of Knowledge 2025. For me, it was very meaningful and transformative experience that offered me valuable insight into both educational practices and, of course, cultural values in Japan, like Fatin have mentioned before. So through classroom observations and also the intercultural interaction with the Japanese student, this journey actually deepened my understanding of how character education is embedded naturally within daily routines, shaping my disciplines, also responsibles and respectful learners. Since I'm one of the students that was selected to visit the Uday Elementary School with Miss Hidayah, Adib, Nadira, and also Aini, I think of one of the core memory and one of the most impactful educational practices that I observed was Soji. It's a daily routine in which students can clean their own classroom and shared space. In Japanese school, cleaning is not viewed as a punishment or an educational chore, but rather as an essential part of the learning process. So through this practice, students develop responsibility, obviously, humility, teamwork, and also respect for their own environments. And also, teacher play a minimal role in enforcement, allowing students to take their own responsibility, right, and carry out the task politely and independently. This approach also encourages learner to take ownership of their own learning spaces and also internalize values through daily actions rather than just verbal instructions by the teacher. In addition to the classroom routine, the learning behavior and etiquette of Japanese students left a strong impressions. Students demonstrate a high level of curiosity and independence in their learning. For example, one of the questions that actually mind blown me, which is a student question, why Batu Cave has exactly 272 steps. Instead of receiving a direct explanations, students were encouraged to explore the informations using the iPads, supporting inquiry-based learning and also the critical thinking. So this practice actually reflects a learning culture that values curiosity and also self-directed explorations. Furthermore, I think Japanese students display remarkable attentiveness and also discipline during the lessons because they carefully jotted down the notes to enhance understanding and retention, which I also think that Malaysian students also often did, and remain focused throughout the lessons. The overall learning environment felt calm, organized, and also purposeful, creating a space where meaningful learning could occur without constant reminder of strict teacher environment. Such an atmosphere, for me, highlight the effectiveness of nurturing intrinsic discipline among the Japanese students themselves. So from this observation, several key takeaways that can be reflected upon within the Malaysian education context, which is number one, responsibility for cleanliness can be shared among students rather than being fully delegated to school staff. More importantly, the focus should be placed on instilling values rather than just directly replicating another country educational system, right? So character education can be integrated seamlessly into our daily classroom routine where small but actually consistent practices gradually shape long-term discipline, respect, and also accountability among the learners. So beyond educational practices, actually, this program also provided me with valuable intercultural insight because we got to meet the students from Waseda University as well, and also the other university, right? So Japanese society demonstrates strong cultural pride, reflected in the minimal use of the English unless necessary for communications. So for food etiquette, they emphasize gratitude and respect, as we need to finish all the foods on one's plate, which because that is considered polite and often accompanied by a slight bow when receiving or thanking for the food. So in public spaces, people are generally quiet, like Fatin have mentioned before, patient and orderly, following rules without the need for reminders. Cleanliness is regarded as a shared social responsibility, which with individuals carrying their own trash and practicing strict waste separation despite the limited availability of public bins. On a personal and professional level, this journey was deeply meaningful, and I felt honored and grateful to represent IPG Campus Bahasa Antarabangsa in Japan to share Malaysian culture while witnessing the students' genuine curiosity and discipline firsthand. So this experience actually inspired me to reflect on my role as a future educators and strengthen my commitments to apply these values in my own teaching practice. It has motivated me to become an educator who not only imparts knowledge, right, not only delivered knowledge, but also to nurtures characters, responsibility, and curiosity in the student's mind. In conclusion, I felt that the traveling teacher's experience highlighted that education extend beyond the academic achievement, right? Because through consistent and daily practices and lived values, schools can actually shape students into disciplined, respectful, and also responsible individuals. So this journey has left a very lasting impact for me on my perspective as an educator and also as a person, to continue guide my professional and personal growth. Yeah, I think that's all from me. How about you, Amira? Can you share your experience?
Well, for me, okay, thank you, Shahira, for that question. Well, honestly, if you told me a year ago that I would be visiting Japan and not only visiting the country but also standing in a Japanese classroom trying to explain how Malaysian culture looks like, mostly using hand gestures and a lot of verbal language, I wouldn't have believed anyone who said that to me. But being picked for this exchange and for this program was a heartfelt moment for
Yeah.
me because we ended up taking notes on how the culture in Japan looks like while exchanging how our Malaysian culture. Well, starting from the culture inside, well, basically we went there not only for sightseeing, but we also went for the experience the school culture, how the school in Japan looks like. So the first thing that hits you is not the cold or not the food, but it is actually the silence inside their daily life. Because if you've been there in Japan, Japan is well known for their discipline. So discipline not only regarding their time, but also in terms of cleanliness, in terms of their order and routine, and basically they are very disciplined in their daily manners. So in terms of cleanliness, you can see that basically people that there are no rubbish there. We as a foreigners, as a tourist, we actually we keep our own
Yes.
yeah
trash.
rubbish, because
In our
we are
bag.
become more aware of the culture there, and
Yes.
we became more, I think, socially aware of the how our environment is. And then in terms of discipline, obviously being punctual is a sign of respect in Japan. And I think as a Malaysian, being punctual in Japan is actually how do you feel being punctual in Japan?
I think it feels great.
Yeah.
Macam, like you get to become like one of the Japanese, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And then in terms of the order and also the routine, well, boleh ke? Okay. Okay. So in terms of their order and also routine, so basically, the daily life in Japan actually follows a clear routine. Well, they went to work maybe at maybe at 5 a.m. and then they went back to at six p.m. and basically they are very punctual and they follow the time strictly. And lastly, their discipline and politeness is shown through action. For example, in Japan, do you remember that we sit at the side of the street
Yeah.
Yeah.
to eat because we cannot eat while standing?
I think
Yes.
there's
So
the picture. right?
yeah, that is our picture. Eating kebab in this at the side of the street
Yeah.
because we know that it is their rule to not eat while standing. So we respect their rule and we actually became more disciplined throughout the trip.
Yeah.
Okay, and then apart from the cultural insights, obviously we went there for our educational experience. So in Japan, for I explored about how creative Japan's classroom are, and my Japanese friends, actually describe what you have told just now about the soji time and also about the kyushoku. So do you know what kyushoku is?
I think it's lunchtime, right?
Yeah.
So they have
So
to handle their own lunch.
yeah, that is I think that is a very great activity or practice because the teacher are not the person in charge
Yeah.
to serve them the food, but the students themselves. So while doing the activity, students became more disciplined without having a formal lecture about how to be a disciplined person, how to serve the food by themselves, but they are experiencing how to serve the food without having someone to told them
Yeah.
how to do that. And then for the soji time, yes, we know about the cleaning time, as Shahir has mentioned just now. So students in Japan are very attentive, independent, and also curious during the lesson. So as they have learned so many basic discipline throughout their activity like Kyushoku and Soji time. So learning in classroom feel very calm and also purposeful instead of rushing or feel pressure. So they feel very safe in their learning environment. And then apart from the educational insight, we also do some cultural exchange during the after our educational experience. So basically, during that moment, I remember we do the matcha ceremony that
Yes.
we try to do our own matcha, and then we also do the traditional game, the
Yeah.
Chikupang. You remember?
Yes.
So that is very. I think that is one of the beautiful moment for me because if you know the Japanese, uh, the person who won the game is actually Japanese, right?
Yeah.
So I think that is a very, I think it is very a proud moment, and it is very beautiful to see that
Yeah.
even as Malaysian cannot won that game. So I think that is a very beautiful shared moment that we have with the Japanese because it connect us with a lot of people, not only through language but also through a simple act of game.
Yeah.
So lastly, sorry, not last, but another so from what we have learned or what we have experienced in Japan, so I think there are several insights for our own Malaysian classroom. So for example, maybe we can also assign simple classroom duties as we have already do,
Yeah.
but maybe we can make it more formal like the soji and also the kyushoku, so we can build the daily routines um, to instill respect and order among pupils from a very young age. So when they grow up, they become a more disciplined person through their daily habits, through the simple classroom duties. And then as Malaysian and also Japanese teacher, we as a teacher have to model a behavior not only through words but through actions because we as a teacher, they respect us as a role model. They see what we do, they follow what we do, so we have to model a good action so they can follow and grow up becoming a very a responsible person. And lastly, for what can I say about this journey? Well, this journey actually has changed me, not a lot but a significant amount of change. Well, this trip actually changed the kind of teacher that I want to become. It reminded me that we are not just here to learn and also to teach, but we are here as a teacher to shape how our students see the world and how they treat the person sitting next to them, not only through despite the language or cultural barriers. So I think that is all for our sharing. So this program actually has made us a very more socially aware and also cultural aware, and we hope that we can be a teacher that can influence pupils and can shape them to become uh, a very more aware person in the future. So I think
That's all.
that's all from us.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato gozaimasu.
こんにちは everyone. 私は Erika です.
私はアディバです。
Shaji desu.
Okay, so today the three of us will be sharing our reflection on our traveling teachers Shinkansen of Knowledge 2025, or for short we call it as TT 2025.
Mhm.
So, about this trip, I cannot help but to have a lot of memories, great memories
That's
with
true.
everyone. So the main purpose of this trip, of us being there, we went there was for us to gain exposure of how Japanese learn English as their foreign language in Japan. But aside from that, we also obviously we get exposure to how Japanese culture is and how their Japanese education are, and also their global perspective. So before I begin with my reflection, do you mind sharing like a sneak peek of what your reflection will be, like the topic, the theme of your reflection that you will be sharing with everyone today? So, Ariba, do you want to start first?
Okay, so I'll
Okay.
start first.
Yes,
So
please.
for mine, I'll give a bit of sneak peek about the interview that I had in Shibuya Street. So those who know, they know, and those who watched it may have watched it. So there will be a special interview talked about later, and then I will talk about the special reunion I had with my host family back in Waseda University.
Yeah.
So stay tuned and let's go to Sharjita.
Yeah. Share the sneak peek.
Okay, so the first topic I will share is the winter reality
Okay.
and
cool.
a city that moves without noise. Yes, and the country that runs on minutes and reading even while standing
Yeah.
in the train. And yes, walking together, moving safely.
Moving safely.
Okay, so those are the topics that we will talk about today. So, as for me, for my reflection, I chose to focus on the Japanese culture, especially their discipline, their respect, and also the responsibility. Okay, so in Japan, discipline actually can be seen in their punctuality, like how they follow the rules, and also their self control everywhere they go. Okay, so you can see from the screen up there, the first picture was taken at the train station. I forgot where this was taken, but I think it was on our first day actually. It was very, very cold, not quite cold. Cold. If I'm not mistaken, it was around like 6 degree
Yeah.
for the first day. Yeah. Okay. And for the second one it was taken at Utsunomiya University. Yeah, so there were like a lot of lectures there with the students. Okay, and for the third one, actually I should put that as the first picture, but it's okay. I got too excited to put the Japan picture 1st. That was taken at KLIA 2, where we wanted to depart from here to Japan. It was like a 6-hour flight. Actually,
Yes,
it's
6
a long
hours.
flight. So yeah. So for my reflection, mainly why I chose to talk about discipline, respect, and responsibility. So these three elements can be seen as like, oh, it's a simple thing, but not everyone can do it. I chose this because it's like a close thing to me of being a teacher. Yeah, for all of us to be a teacher. So these three things is very, very important, and I learned a lot about discipline, respect, and responsibility at when I was in Japan. So respect is shown not only towards other people. Okay, that's what I learned when I was there, but also towards public spaces and social rules. Okay, so what stood out for me the most is that how people take personal responsibility for their actions even without strict enforcement. Like you do not have to tell them to be, keep quiet every time. Like they know that yeah, it's their daily routine. Like they grow with that. Unlike here, we are pretty loud in Malaysia. So there's like a very a huge difference actually being in Japan. So this experience it helped me to understand how culture strongly influences behavior. And I observe how people behave in public, their social manners, and also their etiquette, and how responsibility is practiced in daily life. So this is relevant because teaching is not only about academic content, and it represents important qualities for future teachers. So as trainee teachers, learning from Japan is meaningful because the country is actually well known for its strong educational values. And this trip gave us a real life educational exposure that goes beyond textbook. Okay, so you can see from the screen behind us. So there were quite few photos. And during this trip, so these are the observations that I've seen in Japan. Okay, so I paid close attention to how people behave in public spaces, especially on public transports like trains and Shinkansen, as well as on the street and also stations and tourist areas. So here, the first one you can see is that there were people they queue passionately and they follow rules. Like there are lines at the train stations where it's served purposely for people to just queue. They were not noisy at all. Like what Sarji said earlier, it was moving like quietly, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, so it's you can hear like minimal to no noise at all.
And like something I want to add, like when
Yeah.
we entered the train for the first time, it was so quiet. Like no one was even whispering. It was so quiet. Like the only thing we could hear was like the sound of the heater
The heater
from the train. It was that quiet. So
the
we were like,
heater, even the announcement that the train station like gave, it's like it's not even loud. It's not you won't feel like surprised by it. It just comes naturally. So some key observations were besides this, some key observations that I observed is that were how punctual and efficient the transportation system is. I think everyone can agree to this because everyone literally mentioned this every day. Like it is so punctual. When it says 6 p.m., the train came 2 minutes before. 5:55 p.m. That's how punctual they are. They won't even be late to that. And I love that about Japan, okay? And people there, they are very respectful towards each other. So even if you trip or you you trip or you make any noise, actually they will look at you like that, but they won't say anything. They would just look at you, but they won't give you a dead stare. Basically, they will respect you and they wouldn't make any noise about that. Okay, so aside from that, I actually noticed that there were a few trash bins there. You cannot really find any trash bins. So anytime we have like a trash with us, we carry it. Yeah,
bring
but
it back home.
we bring it back home, or sometimes I just throw it in the toilet because that's the only place where you can find trash bins. Yeah, but not the heavy litter. No, it's just like a few plastic you can just put there. And even the trash bin, it is assorted to like recycling bins. They were like glass, right? Glass, aluminum, all the elements that you can find on earth, you can find it there. It is very it's very
Specific.
detailed. So when I went to throw my rubbish, I was like,
Which one?
which one is this? Why did I not know the material? So yeah, I learned quite a lot. I was standing there for like 2-3 minutes, and my friend was asking, what happened? I'm so overwhelmed. There was so many trash bins.
Figuring out.
Yeah, but we cannot even find it everywhere there, only specific place. So as the background, like the picture of the trash bin, that photo was taken at Waseda University. When we walk in, we saw like, ooh,
A
a row of that. Yeah, I'm amazed because here we just have one, and we have like recycling bins that's only like 3 colors. Here, same color but different tagging. Different tagging. Okay, sorry if I mention like this and that everywhere because there's a lot of pictures here. So let's talk. Oh, wait, I want to talk about the third picture. Can you see a lady with the one that holding a blue pen? That was in Donkey,
Donkey.
right? Where was that already? Utsunomiya?
It was everywhere. I think we went to Utsunomiya.
Only Utsunomiya Donkey. That time, I actually stepped into another world of adulthood, doing tax-free return. Tax-free.
Yeah.
Yes, it was overwhelming,
Mm-hmm.
but the staff were very nice because, well, language barrier was one thing, but I love technology for a reason. We have Google Translate, and it's giving like they're trying their best to help us to solve the problem. Like, oh, how can I do tax-free refund and everything? And I actually use my phone to record their voice and like, okay, you can speak here, even though she don't really know what I meant, but by showing action, she's like, oh, okay, like that. She said okay in English, and I'm like, okay, she get it. So it was very, very nice for them to do that. Okay. All right. Next, you can see where people are like standing in the train. I think from the picture itself, you can hear there's no noise there.
Quiet.
It was quiet.
Silence.
It was really, really quiet. It's if this is a classroom, that is the best classroom management. Yeah, no noise. Okay. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a person in a long gray cardigan. He was throwing out rubbish actually. So the rules were followed without strict enforcement, like I said earlier. This was at Utsunomiya University. Yeah, like another trash bin photo that I just put. Okay, and then the last photo is like it is safe. There are no cat calls, and I love it there. I felt safe, even though
So
we
true. So
yeah
true.
it. The, wait, sorry. The night it became so fast. I think around 5 p.m. it was already dark.
Mhm.
I don't even feel like scared there. Like there was no dogs, no strays, no strays, no weird people, cat calling us, nothing, no staring contest, no. We're just minding our own business, and you can just walk anywhere freely. There were a few drunk people, but they didn't disturb us actually. All right. So for next, I will talk about okay, yeah, reflection as well, like discipline, respect, and also responsibility. So at the beginning of the trip, I felt nervous and cautious because I was afraid of accidentally breaking unspoken social rules. And some challenges that I faced included to adapt to how to be like very, very quiet in public spaces and keeping up with the strict punctuality, dealing with the language barrier. And however, like these small actions in small challenges, it helped me grow and I became more observant and mindful of my surroundings. So I improved my adaptability and developed greater self-discipline and personal responsibility. So from here you can see from the stars, it's like all the little notes that I have, learned during the trip. And it's a really, really nice place. So if you want to come to Japan, you can come. Yeah, should
Very
come.
nice.
All right. Okay. So I think now we can talk about Dibo. Do you want to share anything?
Of course. So
Yeah,
let's go
okay.
to my part next. Okay.
Okay.
So for my part, I'm going to talk about the first part is, firstly, it was at Waseda University, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So at Waseda University, I want to talk about three things. Number one, I would like to talk about the lesson that we had with the Waseda students. So they were very, very kind. Honestly, I was very surprised with their proficiency in English, and they were very, very kind to us. Like, so I was grouped with three male students, including Chen, one of our friends also. So they were very friendly to us. They tried to make us feel very welcome in the classroom. So we were kind of nervous, and they noticed that, and they made sure to like talk a lot with us and like include us in the conversation. So we talked about cultural differences in terms of like food, the transportation that I think because the lecture that time was about transportation, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So we shared about what was the most common transportation used in Malaysia and Japan and so
Correct.
on. So that went on for a while. And then like one of the students was really, really kind. He asked like, oh, one day I kind of want to go to Malaysia. Can you like recommend me one food, like one cuisine in Malaysia? And I recommended nasi goreng kampung.
Oh, okay. I thought it was nasi
Nasi
lemak.
lemak. Yeah, yeah.
Nasi.
Yeah, right. So
Okay,
like
okay.
that's like the most like common answer you would give them, but I wanted to give a bit more like special food. So the reason why I give nasi goreng kampung because I had like a previous Japanese friend that loved nasi goreng kampung. He said like it was so good. So I thought maybe that was like, the taste buds for Japanese people. So that's why I give.
Rich flavors.
Rich
Basic-
flavors.
Yeah, it's rich flavors. Like how Malaysians are, they're united.
Exactly.
Everyone can live together. Every race.
Sometimes the nasi lemak might be spicy for them.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
sambal might be too spicy.
Yeah, and I learned that like their taste buds, they're not really fond of like spicy things. It's not even that spicy actually when you eat spicy food in Japan. Sorry, I digress. Continue.
And maybe
Okay.
because nasi goreng kampung is like a bit like their chahan, I think so. A bit like their food also. So maybe it's similar. Maybe he felt like he liked it because it's similar in taste. And then nextly, in Waseda University, at the front, in front of the gate, if I'm not mistaken, there was a halal bento shop. So we were shocked because we were finding like halal places to eat. And then like speak of the devil, it was there, like literally there. So we entered, and somehow I think the shopkeeper or like the Oji-san, I think he traveled to Indonesia before because he can speak Indonesian. So he used Indonesian to speak with us, which is
Bisa, ya?
very it
Bisa
was-
ngomong Indonesian.
and he was so nice about it. And we talked for a bit, and then we ordered a halal bento lah from there. So we talked, and then we gave them like a small souvenirs. I think the Jalo Gamilang pin.
Flag, pin. The pin. The
we
one like the
gave.
teachers always wear.
The teachers always gave us, so we gave that to him, and then we wrote like a little note, like "Thank you from Malaysia" and so on. So it was very nice, very
We
very.
bring
cute.
Malaysia to them.
Yes,
Even
we
the
bring
flag,
Malaysia to
The
them.
pin.
The
Okay.
pin itself, we gave it to them, and then we bought that, and then we entered Waseda University. So nextly is more of like a personal story for me. So I was actually planning to meet with my host family. So I think it was after 3 or 4 years. It's been 4 years around so since I met them. So I got to meet my host family, Okasa and Kyoko, my host mother and host sister. So I lived with them a few years back in Japan together for around 6 months. So we have that special relationship with us. So I really, really wanted to meet them. So even like we got to meet only 30 minutes because our schedules were so packed. But then even 30 minutes was plenty for me. So we talked and then we, shared about what happened, like how we have been doing. So it was really, really, really nice experience. So I was so happy on that day. Such a nice day.
Yeah. It
So-
got emotional as well. Right,
I
for
got
you?
emotional,
I was like,
honestly.
are you gonna cry? If you wanna cry, have a shoulder for you to lean on.
But then no time to cry. We
No
had to go
time.
to the lesson. So I was like, okay,
Okay.
come back, Adiba.
Come back, Adiba. All right.
Yeah. So that was for Waseda University. So nextly, I want to talk about the advanced technology in Japan. So
I miss the toilet.
I miss the toilet.
I
Honestly,
don't miss it.
You
I
know,
don't miss it. I was searching for it, but oh my god, I had to press which one.
but you could like pick with
How should
picture.
How should I
like,
use this?
It was
I'm not
nice.
using
It
it
has
anymore.
heater.
Yeah, the heat, so nice.
It felt
like,
really nice after the cold.
yeah, when like
Yeah,
just
after
what I
the
need.
cold, enter the toilet and then you just sit down.
Inside the bathtub.
And yeah, the bathtub also so nice. And then one thing that I want to talk about the toilet is my favorite button, the privacy button.
Oh yeah, it sounds like river.
yeah, like waterfall sounds, like calm down.
Okay.
Like, I loved it. So like that's my favorite one. And then like even the water is warm. Even the water. So everything is warm there. So like when you're having like a really cold day, you just go to the toilet. Just
Sarji hates it because it's too much
too
manual.
much buttons. Yeah,
Oh my
understandable.
Is
though.
that why you were so long in the toilet?
Maybe?
I'm kidding, I'm
it was
kidding.
nice. And then so that's for toilet buttons. And nextly is the Japanese taxi.
Hmm.
Okay. It was like the most quiet drive I've ever been. It's even
It's like if you make noise, right? It feels like you're going to I don't know, a
Yeah.
place where you shouldn't even talk.
yeah, literally. I feel like it would break the law if I talk. Even the driver was
They
so
would
quiet.
sue you.
Yeah, it was
Sue you 50
scary.
ringgit or something if you talk. I don't know.
50 ringgit. And then and one thing I wanted to talk about was like
There's a divider.
divider.
Is it the divider, the clear one?
The rear view mirror.
Oh, yeah, rearview mirror.
It wasn't actually a mirror, it was like a camera. So
A safety camera.
A safety camera. I don't know how to explain it, but I looked at it. You know, it's supposed to be a mirror there, right? Like on top, like in front there, right? But I looked at it, it was like light coming out of it. And I looked at it carefully. It was like a camera. So I think it was like a camera connected at the back of the car, but then it connects to there to make sure we can see like more clearly instead of like a mirror. So sometimes mirror has like, it gets blinded, right? So it might be a bit like hard to see. But then when it's a camera, it's more visible. So that was really cool to me. And then like the whole GPS system was crazy. It was so cool. And yeah, and it was warm too. Warm and quiet. Very nice.
I
Very
kind of sweat
silent.
for a bit.
Yeah.
But to add on, the way they drive, oh my god! The first day when we actually, on the way to the hotel, myself, Miss Hidayah, and Sir was
Oh, you guys
all
were
together,
in a
in a car, and we were like holding all over because, oh my god, like he
Where
was
were you
moving
sitting?
so fast.
Were you in the
I was in the corner.
Who was in the middle? They have nothing
Miss was in the middle, and we were like, oh my god, it was so fast.
so fast.
Nearly if
There's
it
no
was
cars, that's why, right?
nearly if it
Maybe,
was
yeah, it was midnight.
maybe if it was an auto, we would have fall outside.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it was at night, so they were rushing and all.
Maybe they
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
go back home early.
They
who
want to,
knows?
It was really quiet. Not the engine, so minimal noise.
Mm,
No, like,
minimal.
no, nothing like that. It's
So
like,
quiet.
it's very, very quiet.
But then my experience was opposite of Shajita. It was so slow. It was so slow to the point like when they're about to like make a turn, I thought the car was about to stop. It was that slow. So like different experience, I guess, different. And then nextly, coffee maker. So coffee maker, we had to like pay at the counter and we get the receipt. So we bring the receipt to the coffee maker and we click everything ourselves. Luckily, they had like English button there, so we know where to push.
Okay.
It was so cool. It was so nice. So yeah, that is
Alright.
for advanced technology. And nextly,
What do you have more to share?
okay,
Ooh,
so
your
these
favorite
are
things.
my favorite things about Japan. Okay, number one is Suica, my lifesaver. Okay, so one thing about Japan, they have like lots and lots of coins, and I'm really bad with like counting the coins because they have different ones. They're all almost the same
We
size
have
and
like
colors.
10 types. I'm kidding, no.
Maybe six.
Six
six
sorry.
types.
I
So like
exaggerate.
counting them was a bit hard. So Suica is like beep, done.
It's
So-
like our TNG card actually.
Yes. Yeah, a bit like our TNG card, like very much. So transportation, food, convenience store, everything. And then nextly, I want to talk about the politeness. I think Erica touched about this just now. Very, very prioritized there, highlighted there. So I really like that about them. And then, of course, Japan, we can't miss cute things. And it's like the land of anime for one reason. So one thing I realized about Japan is that people are not scared to show their
Cute side.
Cute side,
Yeah.
exactly.
Even
Like
if you're a male, you walk around with a Hello Kitty bag,
nobody cares.
They won't feel embarrassed. They feel proud.
They feel proud
Like
about
this
it.
is my trophy.
Mhm.
You have
You
it.
should.
You should be embarrassed that you don't have it. Okay.
Okay, so that's for the land of anime, and like the lastly is the interview that I had at Japan, at Shibuya Street, specifically. So, one guy like approached me and asked me random things. He was like, "Oh, can you speak Japanese?" And I'm like, "Yeah, a little." And he was like, "Oh, can you share a bit about your experience learning Japanese?" So I was like, "Okay." And then we had a bit of a talk. We had like a small rehearsal, and then we went straight to the real thing. It was a really nice experience. He was so kind, so friendly, so nice to me. And then, so if you want to see the video, you can.
This TikTok.
Yeah.
You can search it. I forgot what's the
TikTok.
title though.
I think it starts with Shintaro or something. Yeah. So you can check it Instagram and TikTok whenever you want. So
Yeah.
that's all from me.
Okay, now cannot wait to hear Sarji. Share your thoughts, Sarji.
Okay, so
Oh, cute.
She's happy there.
so of course we all were.
It looks like you use a hanger. Like, your smile is so bright.
Okay, so the first one I would like to talk was about winter reality.
Yeah.
So, to be very honest, like when we first actually stepped outside of the airport, we genuinely underestimated the cold. Like, none of us was wearing like
Gloves,
any
anything.
gloves, the jacket and all. But then every one of us like stopped for a while to actually open everything out.
Yeah.
So like we thought it's just a little cold, but believing that
We were
it
wrong.
we actually managed it like nicely, like easily. So however, within just a few minutes our perception like completely changed. Waiting for the taxis and also like our fingers became numb,
Yeah.
our hands shook, like mine
It's
was
ice.
yeah. So like
So cool.
what made this experience even more powerful was observing the how unaffected the locals appeared. Like
Yeah.
like they walked calmly, confidently, and without hesitation. Like I felt surprised looking at them. Like like
How is this normal?
yeah, how is it normal? So they immediately highlighted the difference between experiencing something like temporarily and living it with daily.
Yeah.
You know, so the locals were not resistant to the cold. They had learned how to coexist with it. So yeah, like their clothing choices, layered outfits, scarves, gloves, hand warmers, and everything. Like it reflected long-term adaptations and rather than last-minute solutions like
Us?
what we actually did at the airport. So and then moving on to the next one.
Oh.
Um,
Let me guess. Is it like quiet noise? No?
Yes,
You
yes.
want to talk about it? Yeah, okay.
Okay, a city that moves without noise. So just like how Erika and Debo shared just now. So it's like one of the most striking aspects of the city was its silence. No noise, anything. Like instead of just loud traffic, constant honking or chaotic movement,
It's
like,
quiet.
the streets were filled with bicycles moving smoothly and quietly.
And us laughing like hyenas.
And then like this absence of noise created a sense of calm, to be honest. So we could actually enjoy the view, standing over there. Like we don't have to be scared of anyone honking here and there.
Yeah, correct.
Like so, yeah. Like there was no visible competition for space. Like we did waited for the train and all.
Yeah,
like, over
correct,
there.
correct,
So
yeah.
no aggressive behaviors
No.
and no urgency that could lead to conflict.
Yeah.
This experience also like it made us reflect deeply on how environments actually influence behavior. Like when systems are clear, logical, and human-centered, people naturally become responsible.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so like eco-friendly choices and all. So respect on the road actually, where there were the
No.
cars were like only 10% of Malaysia.
Yeah, very little
Yeah,
to us.
it's
Yeah,
very
very
few.
Mm.
You see
little.
more of walking rather than driving there.
Mm,
Walking,
yeah.
No jaywalking.
bicycles. No jaywalking.
No
Please,
jaywalking.
we learned it the hard way.
Yeah, because we heard that if you jaywalk, you'll get sued.
Yeah.
And we don't have money for that.
So no.
So yeah, on a deeper level, like this showed us that peace in a city is not created through strict enforcement, but through thoughtful planning and mutual trust. When people feel safe, seen and respected, they respond with responsibility.
Yeah, correct.
So yeah, moving on to the third topic. So the country
Oh.
that runs on minutes.
Yes.
So time is as a shared responsibility, just like how we talked about it just now.
Yeah.
They were on time.
Mm.
We checked the schedule, like the train was at 10:12. At 10:12, not 10:11, not 10:13. At 10:12 it arrived. Very sharp. So one of the most impactful experience like we had was observing how time was respected
Yeah.
at every level of daily life. So what stood out was not just the accuracy but the mindset surrounding it. So people walked with purpose, not in panic or stress. I couldn't see anyone running here and there for
Only
mid
us.
train. They were all so responsible.
Yeah.
I didn't see anyone running to catch the train or everyone were like
Only
calm.
we run.
I think they have like that special walk, They walk very fast,
Huh?
but not
Yeah.
running. It's never running. It's like
I didn't see anyone running to catch a train, to catch the bus and
Mm.
all. Everyone was so punctual. So
They trend that way.
yeah, it is a reflection of like deeper values like such as respect, responsibility, and accountability. Some of us are even sometimes late to classes, but they are going to work, they are going to catch the train, but they are like so punctual. That really surprised me. Oh my god, yes. So like this taught us that time management is a social agreement. When everyone honors time, like system functions smoothly and relationships are strengthened. Like we don't have any conflicts
Yeah,
for each
yeah.
other. So yeah, moving on to the fourth one. Okay, this one, reading even while standing. Oh my god, this was so surprising. One of the most subtle yet powerful observation like I made was on the train where many people were quietly reading books, newspapers, or even ebooks.
But they rarely read on their phone though. They use like the
Yeah.
material,
The
the book itself, the newspaper. I didn't see that for like almost a decade
Yeah, like
in Malaysia.
even while standing during their journeys in the train, like this behavior was not occasional, but it was consistent and widespread. So I think the environment supported the habit.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
The train was quiet with minimal noise, and people appeared calm, focused, reading. So learning was not treated as something separate from life. Like it was seamlessly integrated into ordinary life of them. Yeah, so they showed us that learning does not require effort. We can just open
anywhere.
up and e-learning, through their phone and just read. So, okay, the last topic, which is walking together, moving safely, safety as a collective value. So, crossing the street felt surprisingly calm and coordinated as well, where instead of rushing, pushing or competing to get on the other side to cross first, people waited patiently for pedestrians, signals, and moved together in an orderly manner.
Correct.
So, it was like thousands of people.
Literally.
Yeah.
At the Shibuya crossing.
yeah, I was
But no
about to
one
say
no
that.
one was pushing anyone.
No one was
They
pushing.
were because
Just
you'll get
walking.
there anyway. You get what I mean?
So,
You'll be there. It was crowded, like so many people from all sides, all directions. But then
okay, so the safety is not created by rules alone, so by mutual awareness and respect. So patients play a crucial role in preventing accidents when individuals like recognize that their actions affect others. So harmony naturally follows.
Okay.
So that's all from me.
All right, and that is
And-
all from us. So I
Yes.
hope you enjoy our
Yes.
reflection session. So yeah, see you when we see you then.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Sayonara.
sayonara.
Hi, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon, everyone. Hi, my name is Muhammad Akimi Muhammad Khairi.
I am Nur Nadira Madi.
and
I am
also-
Nur Irina Metano Azhar.
And together, we are sharing about our journey traveling teachers IPG KBA to Japan 2025 Shinkansen of
Knowledge.
All right. So, in our sharing today, we all have our own experiences, right?
Yes.
Yeah. For me, maybe I'm more to the environment kind of person. How about you?
For me, I'm the part where it's enjoyable, memorable. Yeah, it's the fun things.
All right.
Yeah.
How about Dina?
For me, I'm more towards a school person.
Oh.
Knowing we are teachers, right? So it's a given.
All right. Okay. So, everyone, stay tuned for everyone's presentation for now. So, how about for our presentation today, we start with none other than Irdina. Would you like to share?
Sure. Okay, so before I start, okay, let me start with a bit of context because I think that matters a lot. Okay, so there were actually 13 of us that are involved in this program, but in the end, only 4 of us, me, Adib, Ira, and also Aini, was given the opportunity to visit and present at a Japanese school called Uday Elementary School. And I was one of those 4, and I got the chance to introduce Malaysian food. And since not everyone got the opportunity to experience the school visit directly, I honestly feel like it is quite important for me to share what I learned there, not just the big highlights, but also the small moments that really stayed with me after the trip. Because I think that this experience wasn't just about standing in front of a class and presenting Malaysia. It was also about observing, watching how students react, watching how teachers interact with students, and noticing how values are quietly built into everyday school life in Japan, sometimes without anyone explicitly pointing them out. So today, I want to talk about 3 things. First, how students responded during my session, which I share about food. Second, what I noticed about discipline and classroom management. And lastly, something that might seem simple at first, but turn out to be really meaningful, the Sakura tree. And throughout this, I'll be sharing what these experiences made me think about, especially when I imagine myself teaching back home in Malaysia. All right. So when I was preparing to introduce Malaysian food, I already had this idea in mind that comparison would help. Because honestly, when you're learning about another culture, food can feel really unfamiliar at times. And so comparing it to something people already know just makes the whole experience less intimidating. At that point though, I didn't actually realize that many Japanese students were already familiar with naan.
None.
Yeah. So when I first explained about roti canai, I compared it with shokupan, which is like their milk bread, something like that. It is soft, it's simple, and it's something they eat almost every day. So in my mind, I thought that that comparison made sense. But then, during that time, the moment they actually saw roti canai on my slide, their reaction really caught me off guard because they immediately said, "Oh, it looks like naan," something like that. And I remember during that time, I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe they already know this. And later on, I found out that there are actually a lot of Indian and Nepalese restaurants in Japan. We visited one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
during that night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it good for you?
I mean, for me, the waiter was.
Yeah.
remember him, right?
Yeah. He was very funny. Yeah. So I think none isn't something foreign to them at all. And what really stood out to me wasn't just the comparison itself, but the fact that it came from the students, because I didn't guide them to that conclusion, but they just made the connection on their own. And honestly, that moment changed how I viewed the whole session, because the same thing happened again when I introduced satay. Since like almost immediately they compare it to yakitori. You know yakitori? The skewered
It's like a
meat.
kebab, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So both are grilled, skewered meat, and it also like people sold as street food, something like that. So there are a lot of similarities to that. So at that point, I felt like it is less than a presentation and more like a conversation because they were not just listening,
and instead they actively trying to understand, relate, and place Malaysian food within their own cultural framework.
Yeah. Even though they don't really understand English, right? At that
Yeah,
time.
and I think that is such a powerful form of learning because when students do that, they are not just memorizing facts but building meaning. And it also made me realize that sometimes students already have more background knowledge than we expect. And when we give them the space to speak and share, that knowledge comes out naturally. All right. So the next one is I would like to share about cleanliness and discipline. So another thing that really stood out to me during the school visit was how discipline and cleanliness are practiced in Japanese school. In Japan, students and teachers remove their outdoor shoes and change into indoor shoes every single day. And it is not really a special rule and not something they are reminded about constantly. It is just a part of their routine.
I remember actually wearing the shoes on the slides over there.
Yeah.
It was too small for me. But either way,
I remember your feet like sticking
yeah,
out.
it was sticking out. It's a fun experience, right?
Yeah. Okay. So at first glance, for me, I think it is a small thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
But the more I observe it, the more I realize how much that routine shapes their mindset because it creates this shared understanding that this school is a common space and everyone is responsible for keeping it clean. Because in Malaysia, we usually approach this differently. You know, like we have special rooms in our school, like surau, computer labs. So we only remove our shoes during if we wanna use these special rooms, right? So it is quite different from Japan. So in a way, cleanliness in Japan is more routine based, but in Malaysia it is more space based. And neither approach is wrong. They are just shaped by different cultural and practical contexts. And also, when it comes to classroom management, I noticed that Japanese teachers generally keep things very calm and structured. And one method that really caught my attention was the use of jankempon or rock, paper, scissors. Did you notice that as well?
Was that before? Sorry, because you're not at the school, right?
Yeah,
You
it's
were
okay.
making matcha, right?
Yeah, I was busy
University.
making matcha.
I think it was during the start of the class because like the students were very noisy when they saw us, right?
Yes.
Malaysia Jin, right?
Yes, Malaysia Jin.
Yeah.
Yes. And also I think the teacher also used the same method during the Q&A session because they were too excited to ask us questions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I think that is really interesting because it showed that discipline doesn't always need to be loud or strict. Sometimes I think that predictability and fairness do most of the work. And at the same time, when we compare it to Malaysian classroom, ours are more flexible because us teachers would just adjust our tone, our instruction, or even our strategies in the classroom depending on the situation and the students, right? So I think that seeing both approaches side by side made me reflect on how classroom management is really about balance, knowing when to rely on structure and when to adapt to human needs. Yeah.
Not only about shouting, is it?
All right. So the next one, Sakura tree. Okay, if you can see the slide there, it wasn't blooming that time because it wasn't in their its season yet.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
winter.
It's winter. Yeah, it's winter.
Supposedly it blossoms in spring, right?
Yeah, spring.
Right
Yeah.
after winter.
So yeah. Okay. So at first when I saw that tree, I was like, oh, this is a beautiful tree, but there was no flowers. So I felt kind of sad actually. But I asked one lecturer, Miss Noriko.
Yeah, Miss Noriko.
And she explained to me how sakura tree actually they planted this tree in every government compounds simply because they believe in one idea called mono no aware.
Mono
Okay.
no aware, yeah.
So actually this idea it teaches them the idea of things that don't last forever, so they need to appreciate while it lasts. Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember because this was the top view of the tree. Remember that we took a picture down there?
Yeah.
With that rock. That rock that wrote something about live long future or something.
Oh.
Remember?
Yeah.
That one.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, new knowledge for you, I
Yeah,
guess.
so much new
You wanna
knowledge for
share?
me.
Okay, actually, this idea mono no aware is influenced by Shintoism. So Shintoism is actually one major religion there, and it places an emphasis on nature and respecting natural elements. So you can really see that idea in the sakura tree because like it bloom beautifully but only for a short time. And that short blooming period is exactly what gives them meaning. Like it is a quiet reminder to slow down and appreciate moments while they last. Yeah. So I think that this is really interesting because they learn that value not in the classroom but through the environment itself.
Yeah, instead of only in the box, right?
Yeah.
More philosophical
Yeah.
kind of view.
Yeah. That's a beautiful take actually. Okay. So overall, I think that being given the opportunity to present at a Japanese school was honestly a really meaningful experience for me and also for you as well, right?
Yeah.
And you were busy doing matcha.
Doing matcha.
Okay. So since not everyone in the program had the chance to visit the school, I feel very grateful to be able to share what I observed and learned. And this experience has reshaped how I think about education. And it reminded me that learning doesn't only happen through lessons or explanation, and it sometimes happens through interaction, routines, environment, and culture. And when I think about my future classroom in Malaysia, these reflections stay with me, not just in terms of what I teach, but how I teach, how I manage space, and how I create an environment where students feel comfortable to think, connect, and grow. And yeah, that is something I'll definitely carry with me moving forward.
All right. Thank you, Teacher
Okay.
Dina, is it?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Teacher Dina, for sharing. Okay.
Dina Sensei.
Dina
Dina
Sensei.
Sensei.
All right.
Okay.
Dina Sensei. We're in Japan right now, okay?
Surprise,
Okay.
surprise.
So, thank you, Dina, actually, for sharing. So, you focus more on school, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, our experience at school. Okay. How about after school? Other than school, we give the floor to none other than Nadira. Do you want to go on?
Okay, so we have about the school. So now it's more of fun moments, highlights for me, like the highlights of the trip. So there were so many unforgettable experiences, but I'll be focusing on a few that truly stayed with me, especially the food, our university visits, the shopping, and how this trip helped me use English in real life situations. First and foremost, the biggest highlight for me was definitely the food, beverages, and desserts. As you can see here, my number one obsession was this particular milk coffee. I drank it every morning starting from day 2 of our trip.
Yeah.
It was my first time trying it, and I was instantly hooked. Starting my day with it just felt right, comforting, familiar, and honestly, the perfect way to begin each morning.
I mean, are you a coffee person?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I am.
Understandable.
Okay. And secondly, I want to talk about the caramel pudding. I didn't eat it every day, only on 2 occasions, I think. Dina, was it?
I think I ate it more often than you.
Yeah,
I ate it like every day.
she did.
I think we found a caramel enthusiast over here.
Yeah. But as I said, it was genuinely really good.
Yeah.
What stood out to me was that it didn't have that eggy smell or taste
Yeah.
that caramel pudding here usually has for me. Because of that, I'm not really a fan of our local version, sorry.
Yeah.
But this one was different. I honestly regretted not eating it more. I think I've mentioned it before
Yeah.
with you.
I'll probably get diabetes if I continue to stay in Japan.
Understandable. Okay, and another food highlight was the halal bento.
even though I ate it while it was cold,
Mhm.
it was still incredibly delicious.
Yeah.
I think if we were staying closer to that bento shop, I think I would have eaten that every single day just to try different options because there were different options for halal, right? I think.
Yeah, there are different options.
Yeah.
And not all of it are
Yeah,
halal
yeah,
at
of
that
course.
time.
And yeah, it
Remember the
became
shopkeeper, right?
yeah,
Yeah, the friendly.
the friendly shopkeeper. She was so nice. Yeah, and it became my top favorite food in Japan. And I was particularly grateful that we had the chance to try
Mhm.
halal bento because, as all of us know,
Yeah.
it was quite difficult to find halal food. Like so difficult.
I mean,
And
even if you want to know the soy sauce, you need to be careful at that time because the soy sauce might contain what do you call it? Shoyu,
so
the alcohol,
Yeah.
yeah,
that rice wine.
the
So
rice
you need to
wine.
be careful.
Yeah, and like things like this, like regarding food, it made me realize how much we sometimes take things for granted here in Malaysia, where halal food is easily accessible almost everywhere. And next, I'd like to talk about our visit to Waseda University. To me, it felt like the university had everything: amazing facilities, comfortable workspaces, and even an adorable mascot.
Oh,
However,
are you talking about that mascot?
yeah,
The
the
froggy one?
no,
No, that was
the
Utsunomiya.
Utsunomiya, yeah, that
Ah.
was Utsunomiya.
It's a bear.
It's a bear.
Yeah.
Is it a bear?
It's
Yes, it's a bear.
It's a
Yeah,
Okay,
bear
I
with
forgot.
yeah,
I only
the-
remember that
Right.
that aluminium statue or copper statue.
Oh, the copper statue.
Yeah,
Oh,
only
yeah.
remember
Copper
that.
statue, yeah.
Uh,
He was so adorable. Like they had keychains of him, so adorable. Okay, never mind that. Okay. However, what stood out to me the most was how beautiful and serene the campus was, with the natural elements, the iconic clock tower. Like that was so beautiful, and even like a small park within campus. The overall ambience was very calm, very
Yeah.
peaceful.
Yeah.
Like I love that so much. And I think only a few of us visited the park, but it was
The
absolutely beautiful. Yeah, there was a park. I think.
There was a part inside.
But we
Yeah.
were
I
when
think
we
you
arrived,
guys were
it's
late.
almost closed,
Yeah,
right?
it was almost closing. Yeah, someone even told a few of us to quickly go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
But it was so good, so beautiful. And honestly, I wouldn't mind spending an entire day just roaming around the campus. Like so beautiful.
A dream come true, maybe.
Yeah, a dream come true, maybe.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Okay.
Maybe. And so comparing like this to universities in Malaysia, I felt that Japanese campuses place a stronger emphasis on quietness, order, and respect for shared spaces. While Malaysian universities are often more lively and social, the atmosphere at Waseda felt more, a bit structured and
Okay.
reflective for me. So, visiting such universities, like Adib said, it's a dream to be there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, one day, I don't know. Yeah. And yeah, another meaningful.
All right. So
yeah.
this was the frog.
Yes,
Okay.
this is the frog. He was talking about, yes, this is the frog.
Okay.
So this was another meaningful experience for me, which is visiting Utsunomiya University. We learned a lot, right? We learned
Yeah.
a lot about language, culture, and the most significant part for me was meeting my COIL friends in person.
Okay. The one we met in. It was not Google Meet. What was it?
Zoom.
Doing Zoom.
It was
Yeah.
Zoom. In
Yeah.
Zoom.
Like they were amazing. So amazing. They welcomed me so warmly and even suggested places to visit and food to eat while thoughtfully considering the halal aspect.
Yeah.
I truly felt appreciated and welcomed. Yeah. And it felt very different from our online sessions. Like what Miss Hidayah mentioned during online meetings, they tend to have their guards up. Don't you
Yeah.
think so?
What do you mean by guards?
Guards up, like
It's like they were more reserved.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
more
Okay. Yeah.
reserved,
Correct.
they were more closed off. Like
I mean,
yeah,
it is our first time meeting
Yeah, yeah.
with someone not from our country,
yeah.
right?
I think, but
We were also shy. At
yeah,
the time.
that's correct.
Mhm.
But I mean, when we've met face to face, like first time meeting face to face, and everyone was so much more open and friendly.
The wall suddenly
Yeah,
broken, and then we can
yeah.
talk. I mean, not talking in English because we couldn't really
Yeah,
talk in English,
yeah,
so
but
it's more like a sign language.
yeah, it's more like yeah, like we need to rely more on body language,
Yeah.
or even show pictures to communicate.
And then like
Yeah.
our using our limited Japanese, like
Yeah.
this is
I'm not gonna
Kinda
lie.
hard,
You
yeah.
said limited. For me, it was none. Yeah, but it was good. But yeah, so this made me realize that while we often communicate comfortably in familiar settings in Malaysia, like interacting with people from a different culture in Japan required more awareness and patience and adaptability, of course. And yeah, another highlight at Utsunomiya University was when we got to make our own matcha. As you can see in the picture there, I was truly happy. It was truly a one of a kind experience for me. I was excited, and I even got to use the bamboo which was a dream of mine.
The original
Yeah, it was.
hashtag made in Japan.
Yes, it felt epic. It was epic. Like, I've always enjoyed drinking matcha, and the matcha that I made and drank in Japan was top notch.
Top notch.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a dream. Yeah, this experience like made me appreciate how traditional practices are preserved and valued in Japanese culture, compared to how we often enjoy similar drinks in Malaysia in a more modern or commercialized way.
yes.
Okay, last but not least, I want to talk about our shopping experience at Treasure Factory, a thrift store that genuinely felt like heaven. It was heaven. If I had brought more money and had more luggage space, I would have bought so much more without hesitation. So yeah, we were truly spoiled for choices. And that's where I found my greatest treasure, my greatest find of all, which is the Mofusendo. I could honestly talk on and on about that, but it's okay. So, what I really want to highlight here is the Japanese thrifting culture. Every item I saw was in near perfect condition. Like nothing looked worn out or neglected. I think it's not that people don't use their belongings, but rather they take very good care of them. You know? You can
Okay.
see, like there seems to be a deep sense of respect for objects. So I mean, in comparison to Malaysia, where thrift stores often sell items that show clear signs of wear.
Of wear and tear. Yeah.
Yeah, Japan's secondhand culture reflects a strong sense of responsibility. Yeah. So yeah, and this naturally connects to Japan's anime and character culture. Like,
Do you watch
you know,
anime?
yeah, I do,
Yeah.
but only the old ones though.
The old
Naruto.
animes.
Yeah, I watch Naruto. Yeah. Like, yeah. So what started as simple illustrations on social media, it has grown into like a global phenomenon, right?
Mm-mm.
So this shows how characters in Japan are not limited to entertainment, but are part of everyday identity and expression. So to see this culture in full force, the Tokyo character street at Tokyo Station.
Yeah.
The character street. Okay.
It was the perfect example for that. Like, it was massive, but it lies along, like, I think it has 21 character theme stores. It's so wonderful.
For me, I just remember the Pokemon store. on top.
Yeah, of course. You love Pokemon, yeah, of course. So yeah, it like compared to Malaysia, where such merchandise is usually limited to specific stores, but in Japan we could see everything, right? Yeah. So I think, all in all, this trip gave me so many meaningful experiences, from amazing food and fun shopping moments to beautiful campuses and genuine connections with people from another country. And it also helped me practice my English in real life situations and learn more about the cultural differences between Japan and our country, Malaysia. Most importantly, it made me appreciate not only Japan and its culture, but also the little things we have in Malaysia that we often take for granted. So, yeah, again, I'm truly grateful to have been a part of this trip, and I know these memories will stay with me for a long, long time.
All right. Is that all, Nat?
Yeah.
Or you want to share more anything about food?
I don't
All right. Okay. So thank you, Nat, for also sharing your experience specifically in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we'll go on with the presentation with my presentation for my experiences here in Japan. So for me, my experience, I will talk about a couple of things, which I will talk about the experiences, my experiences, the etiquettes there in Japan, and I'll also focus in terms of the English learning, and also in as me as a training teacher. I mean, we all are training teachers, right? So I will also talk about the teacher knowledge that I gain over there. Okay. So we'll start on with my personal experience there in Japan, because I mean this is my first time ever going apa? What do you call it?
Overseas?
Going overseas,
Overseas,
is it? Yeah. So first of all, one thing I really what do you call it? Really adore was the season. Winter.
Winter.
This is my first time ever
Experiencing winter.
experiencing winter. Yep.
Even though there was no snow.
Yeah, there was no snow, but it was very cold.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was winter. I think food, no need to mention anymore. That already explained it a lot. Okay,
Yeah.
and then the language. I mean, I'm not saying I'm an anime enthusiast, but I like Japan. Japan was a dream where I wanted to go, and I went there.
Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of the language, I can speak a bit. Just what konnichiwa, and then sumimasen. And then each time you enter a convenience store, irashaimase.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay. Other than that, the metro, yeah, we always watch it in the television, and then now we experience it hands on. The jam pack
Yeah.
metro.
People were really-
Remember the formation?
Oh,
Formation!
With
Because
our luggage as well.
everyone was pushing each other when we wanted to go out of the door.
It was packed.
Yeah, very
Like
packed.
sardines.
Like sardines. I mean, more than sardines, I think. Okay, so other than that, yen. Yen, for me, yen is another currency, because compared to Malaysia, we're more to online money right now, right? Okay, online money and paper money. But Japan more focused on the yen, which is the coins, right?
Yeah.
I like the 5 yen, that's why I put it over there. 5 yen has like a little holder that shows, was it good luck? I forgot. But something like that. And then attire, obviously, I was hoping going to Japan, attire, kimono, yukata, but it was winter, okay? So everyone was wearing a coat. So everyone was a big puffy pillow. I mean,
Yeah.
also me. You can look at the picture. Yeah, I'm a literal pillow over there.
Marshmallow.
Okay, so enough about my personal experience. Let's focus more on the real stuff. Okay, so now I want to talk about the etiquettes there in Japan. Okay, so in simple terms, first of all, I want to talk about the quietness. Okay, so the quietness, I am so surprised because, okay, the quietness is to a point where you can hear your own heartbeat. Okay, when you walk down the streets, it's very calm, very quiet, especially in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
I
morning,
like
and
that.
even in the afternoon, when people are coming out from work, it's still just a calm. Everyone's doing their own work, and we can only hear the, what do you call it, the chirp, the bird chirps on the traffic light, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
we will walk
Yeah,
there.
we're gonna.
So it is a different experience compared to Malaysia. Okay, and then other than that, the ethics that I really like is the bowing. I mean, I'm used to bowing, but the bowing there in Japan is something normal. Like for here, if you bow, is something very, oh my god, why are you bowing?
So respect.
Yeah, so respectful. But in Japan, if you don't bow, it's just that, what's wrong with you? Like bowing is a culture there. Okay, so that is for me. So other than bowing to give thanks, is also focused on giving apologies and also for simple greetings. So that is bowing. And then lastly is, I think none of us share, which is about the cleanliness, right?
Yeah.
Okay, about cleanliness, the overall me walking through Japan, yeah, rubbish bins are not that much, right?
No,
Mm-mm.
there was none.
And then other than not much rubbish bins, the rubbish bins are also recyclable rubbish bins. So when you have something and then you look at, oh no, only plastic, and you are holding a banana peel. Yeah, that was my experience at that time. So I needed to bring that banana peel everywhere.
I saw you bringing it everywhere.
Okay. All right. And then other than that, the toilet, obviously. The floor needs to be dry. Okay. And then moving on, that is about etiquettes. Now I want to focus more on the English learning, since we are TESOL teachers, right?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, as already shared by Nat, you also shared about call session, right? So this was also my first time ever meeting my call friends there. So it was Sakura, Hanako, and also Aoi at that time. And on the Zoom, we didn't talk much, but there we can talk, but with the help of Google Translate a bit. Okay. So other than when I want to talk about English learning, we learn more through verbal communication, non-verbal actually.
Oh.
That's why Sakura.
Body language.
Yeah, body language. And then at that time we have a paper, so I draw there. This one. Oh, suka like that. At that time. So more to, and then when we talk, we more to trans language. We change between English and Japan like that, so that we can understand. And then move on. I think Waseda University already explained. So Waseda University, for me, I focus that we learn in the class with Miss Noriko, right?
Yes.
We learn about in learning in context, which is about crowdsourcing, and then the use of digital textbook speakers and also that whiteboard.
Yeah.
In IPG, our whiteboard goes left and right. In Japan, it goes up and down.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean a simple difference, but it hits me. Okay, all right. And then also the second university, which is Utsunomiya University, where it's also learning in context, but it's more to us playing the games. Remember that night, Chiku?
Chiku.
Chiku.
I'm bad.
Okay, Chiku Pang. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that
bad.
game. Okay, we share our culture with the Japanese, right? Okay, and then
I think I remembered a Japanese won that game.
yeah, the Japanese student actually won the
yes.
Chikupang game.
She
It's
won that game.
not the Malaysian student. Okay, but it's okay. It's more for sharing. Okay, and then for me, it's more mingling with the international students. So that is it. So I think lastly, for I want to share about the teacher knowledge as me as about to become a teacher. I think teacher knowledge is overall anything that I learn there in Japan, I will try to implement it here as a teacher, which I will soon to become, maybe in the near, I mean, in this year also, I will become an English teacher like that. Okay. So as a conclusion, I think I could say that the approaches of learning, as you can read over there, the approaches of learning and educating is different. Yes, Japan is different, Malaysia is different, but the focus is more or less education is a must, no matter what, right?
Yes.
Anything you need to learn. So for me, that is my conclusion. So I guess that wraps up our what do you call it? Our debriefing.
Debriefing.
Thank you so much for sharing, Dina, and also Nat. Okay. So yeah, that's all from us. Thank you so much, and see you on our next trip. I don't know.
Hopefully.
All right.
Hopefully.
Hello, a very good day to our fellow viewers. So today we have 4 panels here. We are going to talk about the Traveling Teachers IPGKBA to Japan 2025 Shinkansen of Knowledge. This is our reflection here today. We are with 4 panels, and let's us introduce ourselves before we moving on to the next stage.
Hello, so my name is Aini Nurshazoni. You can call me Aini. I'm here today to be one of the panel that will be doing reflection for our Japan trip.
Continuing, hello, my name is Maisara Liana. You can call me Maisara. So I'm today one of the panel for today. So nice to meet you.
And I am Chen Yang. Nice to meet you too.
Hello, I'm Ileana. Nice to meet you. I'm the last panel.
All right. So now that you have known all of us, let's get started with Aini, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's start.
All right. So, hello everyone. I'm very glad to meet all of you today. So, this is just a very short reflection of what's happening in Japan's trip last December. So, shall we go? Right. Next. Okay. So, the first one, when I arrived in Japan, I think there is a lot of cultural differences and maybe some sort of cultural shock. Number one, I would say that we have to respect the public rules. For example, like we know that Japanese people, they are very punctual and also they are very organized. So in that case, we have to be very respectful to their daily manners. For example, like queuing in their trains, even though the trains are packed with people during peak hours, but everyone in the train, they are very silent at that moment, right? And then when we are saying about punctuality, you know that whenever in Japan, you have to be very punctual. For example, we have to meet on 9 a.m. and then you have to be there around 6:45
Yes,
a.m.
exactly.
Like you have to be there 15 minutes earlier, right?
Yes.
So that is one of the thing that I learned. Though in Malaysia, we try to have those punctuality in our daily life, but we still don't get to that point.
It doesn't really work out
It
all the
doesn't
time,
really
right?
work out. We are trying our best, right? So
True.
that is some of the things that I learned when I was in Japan. Number two, no sitting on the floor. I mean, like, there is this one point that we actually went lost in Tokyo Station, and we have been walking around for about like 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
About 2 hours, and our feet is going to fall
Oh,
off the
it's,
floor.
yeah.
And I feel like, oh my god, this is so painful. I just want to sit down. And then when I sit down on the floor in that Tokyo Station, you know what? The people, Japanese people, keep on looking like
Yeah.
They were staring us like
they were
Judging.
staring.
What
They
are
were
they doing?
staring at us, and I feel like, okay, maybe there is something wrong we are doing. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to open Twitter and just see whatever Japanese people are saying about other foreigners in their country. And I saw that, oh, Japanese people do not really like when foreigners sit on the floor. And I was like, okay, everyone, get up. We're gonna sit on the floor.
Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing. And number three, okay, some stores do not allow recording. This one, actually, I went to one of the Uniqlo at Tokyo Station because I want to buy a cloth for my sister. And at that moment, yeah, it's just a basic thing. We are just recording around because we want to show the clothes in the Uniqlo, right?
True,
And then
true.
one of the workers come and say, excuse me, no recording.
Oh.
And I was like, huh? No recording? In Malaysia, it is okay for you to record. And some of our Malaysians, they do content creation, like
True.
on the shop, right, in the shops. And as for me, I didn't know that it was wrong. So from that point, whenever I'm going to any stores in Japan, I do not record anything, even though I want to buy souvenirs for my family and friends.
Yeah,
All right?
viewers, now you know it.
Yeah, now you know it. So these are some kind of cultural differences and culture shock in Japan. Okay, move to the next. Number two, this is my favorite part. This is what I learned in Japan, my personal growth and independence. Okay, we are trying to communicate with the Japanese despite of language barriers. For example, we are using the body language and also the Google Translate or any
Exactly.
AI tools. Okay, I've got this very funny story. Me and Miss Hidayah, our lecturer. All right. So we are trying to get on the train. And then the train somehow we are supposed to sit. However, we do not get the seat. And we are just confused. What happened? Why did we buy very expensive tickets but we cannot sit? What we have paid for? And then we know that Japanese, they are still in learning of English, right? They're
Yes,
not really
yes.
proficient as us.
They don't use it
So,
as much. is
yeah,
it?
they don't really use as much. Their first language, of course, the Japanese lah. All right, and then at that moment, me and Miss Hidayah, we are trying to translate using Google Translate. So whatever we are saying, yada 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 yada, and we are showing. And then the Japanese woman will, oh.
Yeah, also doing the same thing. Just showing you. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say because I cannot speak Japanese and she cannot speak English. So
Interesting.
we can say that we are trying to communicate as much as possible, trying to get there. Okay, number two is like time management. We have to be early, just like I've mentioned before. We are trying to be very punctual. You know what I mean, right?
Yes.
And then number three, navigating directions and public transport using bus and train. I think we have the master of navigation here. We have Chan. So thanks to him, we don't really lost in Japan.
Yeah.
Or not. We wouldn't be here maybe. All right, because he is using the Google Maps and moving around, and I'm just like following around wherever he is going. I hope
Everyone
that
was following around.
yeah, everyone is following around. So I hope that one day I can just learn from him how to navigate Google Maps in Japan. All right. And then money management, this time I would say that I'm very nervous going to Japan because I'm not really well prepared in terms of money
I think it's
management.
the same for everyone.
Yeah. And at first I keep on asking everyone, hey, where did you change the money? Which card are you buying? Suica? Why Suica? Why?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know. And then I keep on asking. But when I arrived in Japan, wow, the financial system, it's kind of very, what do you call, very organized.
Convenient.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
convenient.
Kind
You
of.
can just like, if you are an Apple user, you can just use your card and then just tap on the
Exactly.
train to
Yes.
get the fee and
Very
something.
accessible.
Yeah, very accessible. And I think this one, for the viewers, if you're looking for money management in Japan, you can just go to TikTok maybe, or maybe YouTube. There are some of the videos they are saying how to finally manage your money in Japan. Okay, so maybe this is like the last one. Self grounding strategies. When I was in Japan, I was really anxious. Like, this is a foreign land, and then what I did is like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique, which is that number one, five things that I can see, or maybe the birds, the sky, yada yada, and so on. And four things I can feel. For example, I'm touching myself for like my clothes and some things so that I can remind that I'm here, something like that. And then three things I can hear, maybe the birds chirping, and then two things I can smell, maybe like the smell of the air. And one positive reminder, I will always tell myself that I'm here, I am safe, so I can move forward in Japan. Okay, next one. We are moving really fast. Okay, number three is like academic and program relevance. I would say whenever we have this one global night discussion with all peoples around the world, I would say there are also lecturers from Australia, New Zealand, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
New
yeah.
Zealand, right? So we're also talking with one of Mr. D's friend, Kak Zai. We call
Yeah,
her
Kak
Kak
Zai.
Zai. So Kak Zai just sharing about the scholarship, Max Scholarship, which is the scholarship that is being awarded by Japanese government. So it is just for free. You are studying in Japan, but somehow you also need to be qualified in certain things so that you are okay, so that you are going to get the
Receive
scholarship.
that.
Receive the scholarship. Okay, number two, learning how people learn English as foreign language. Maybe because in Malaysia we learn English as second language, not as a foreign language. That is why when we went to Japan, we see that those people, they are somehow still in the learning process of learning English. And I get to know that starting from 3 years ago, like everyone, the Japanese government just start to make English education mandatory in primary school. All right. So number three is like when I was in school, I went to school, and the school, the students, they are not really proficient in English. So we keep on using TPR in our teaching method during the school visit. Okay, number four, using English with native speaker and gain new friends. This is where the intercultural exchange happen, because I also get to talk with one of the lecturers that are from New Zealand. All right. So this is some of the things that I learned whenever I'm in Japan in terms of academic and program relevance. All right. To the next slide, please. Okay, this one is like our teamwork and group dynamics. So in our group, we get this group coordination where we have Papa and Mama system. I'm one of the mom. I got 4 children. So this is where when we were doing our activities, we have to communicate with each other so that we can make the group coordinated well. Okay, one of the challenges is that sometimes we kind of get lost and we want to find our way back together. So there are also moments of stress and miscommunication. So this is where it is very important for us to have this system so that we can communicate and support one another in any foreign countries.
True,
All right.
true.
So this is where whenever you are going to other countries, you need to have teamwork and group dynamics. Okay, I think the next slide. Okay, so maybe this is the last slide. What I have learned about Japanese value and societies. Number one, their cleanliness. Because in the street they are very, very clear. Like there is no rubbish at all.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Number 2 is like hospitality, which is omotenashi. So you can see that our key person, Miss Noriko, she is really showing effort to accommodate us. And number 3, we say that work ethic, which is that how she is being respectful and helpful. I mean, like how the workers in my convenience store are showing their respect and very helpful to us in any store.
True.
So that is what we have learned in Japan in terms of values and society. So I think that's all from me. Arigatou gozaimasu. Okay, moving on. Maybe we have the next
alright.
panel.
Okay, thank you so much, Aini. Okay, now we move on really quickly to my Sarah, maybe? Yeah, shall we go?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll,
alright.
I'll do this fast.
Let's
Okay,
go.
so hi everyone. So thank you for joining in. So basically, I'm going to share about my little bit of my cultural experience in Japan. So first of all, it's my second time being overseas, but first time to arrive in Japan. So I want to talk about something very personal for me, which is it's not just a trip, but it's actually a journey to change how I see life. So everything, when I first arrived, everything felt very unfamiliar. The language, the environment, and also how the people we behave in Japan. But slowly I realized that it wasn't just a country, it's about how we learn the new way of living in another foreign country. So one of the first things that touched me the most was their food culture. I don't know if it relates to you, but we Malaysians eat very spicy food.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
very
We like
spicy.
it. We like it very much. Oh my God.
But when I arrived in Japan, the food is very balanced and I think it's more meaningful.
True.
Where we before we eat, we say itadakimasu, and after we eating, we say gochu-sama desita, like something like that. Yeah. And at first, I thought they were just phrases, but actually, they are more like something about gratitude to your food. Like they respect food very much. For we Muslims, we recite our prayer first. Yeah. So that is something that's similar. So Japanese, they don't like food wastage. They always make sure they finish their food before leaving. So these are some of the pictures that are the foods that I eat that we could find halal foods in Japan itself. It's not that hard, but it is kind of pricey compared to Malaysian
True.
food.
Yeah, and there are not that many choices.
It's not that
as
many
compared-
choices,
yes.
but there is choices.
Yeah, there
you,
still
you
are.
can still find.
True.
So, then there was the public transport. I think a lot of people talk about this, where the trains arrive exactly on time and people stood queued quietly, and it's very good. I think, compared to Malaysian public transport in Japan, is very well maintained.
Exactly.
Yeah, very well maintained.
Very well maintained. So we'll be continuing for the next slide. There, matcha ice calligraphy. I think this is my favorite part. Where, as a matcha lover, I really love this.
Me too.
I really love this. Where when we arrive at Waseda University.
What's it?
Waseda.
Utsunomiya.
Utsunomiya, I'm sorry.
Utsunomiya.
Utsunomiya University, where we had the chance to experience the cultural exchange.
Yes.
Where first, my group, we tried to make our own matcha, and the matcha is different compared to how we drink here in Malaysia.
Yes.
So their matcha is ceremonial matcha, as we all heard ceremonial matcha. So what is actually ceremonial matcha? They don't drink matcha every day. Actually, they drink on special occasion only, and it is actually very bitter. They don't add milk, they
it
don't
is
add
bitter.
anything. Alright? So yeah, that is a part of their symbol of calm and respect. So they prepare it very carefully. So next, calligraphy. So this is one of my favorite part, where as a Mandarin learner myself, I think calligraphy is very related to me. Compared to Chinese calligraphy, Japanese calligraphy is kind of similar, but Japanese have hiragana, katakana, and kanji, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So hiragana is mostly used for the words and grammar, where katakana is used for foreign words and
Foreign words,
names.
yes.
And kanji comes from Chinese character. That's why I can understand
Some of
kanji.
it, yes, we can
Kanji
really,
is
yes,
similar to
relate to it.
Chinese.
Yes.
Yeah, where kanji shows meaning compared to other characters. So that is matcha and calligraphy from our cultural exchange. So moving on to the next slide. So how we enter university differently. This is, I think, the most emotional part, where I can see where I exchange with Utsunomiya University students, my friends, and also Waseda, where in Malaysia we enter university differently compared to the Japanese pupils. So here, this information is what I gained from the cultural exchange from my friends. So maybe some information could be different to other person. So first of all, in Malaysia, we could relate this where we can enter university through multiple pathway. We have different kind of enrollment systems.
Yes.
So SPM, and also matriculation, right?
Yes.
We use one online system, which is UPU. We can choose a lot of university that we can have. So next, it comes from the results and our co-curricular activities. So it doesn't end with one simple exam. But Japan, it's very different. I think this is very hard for me to digest this, where they mainly through high school graduation and university entrance exams only. Only. So it's very competitive for them, where that one exam concludes their whole life.
It decides everything.
It decides everything in their life.
True.
How to apply to each university is separate. So compared to, they could only apply to two universities. One is public and one is private. So each year they can only apply one public and one private. If they don't get to enter that year, they need to try another year.
Another year.
Yes,
Yes.
another year.
Another year. So their dedication to the exam is very, very, very. I really respect that so much.
True.
So with the high pressure and stress, however, they manage to enter the university that they want is very, very. I think it's a very good blessing.
Yes.
So yeah, that is what I pursue, like how they enter university differently compared to us. So I'll be continuing to the next slide, please. So how are we different? So sharing my experience with my new friends, our learning schedule, how we spend our holiday, how we communicate, and also our culture. So a lot of things that I could share with them, which is maybe I would say how we communicate. We don't we don't know how to speak English with them because their English level is not that.
Yes, there's a barrier over there.
So we use a lot of like sign language and we show pictures and
Body
body
language.
language a lot. And how we spend our holiday, like how we have only 2 seasons, hot and also rainy seasons, I guess. And they have like 4 seasons, and it was very like a good thing, like it opened my eye a lot. So and the culture, like how we see our culture and how they see their
It's
culture.
very different.
It's very different. It's very fascinating for me to meet and share the experience with my new friends in Japan. So yeah, it's very fun. So continuing, next slide, which is what I'm amazed and enjoy in Japan. Where a lot of people say different things, but I think I would say the vendor meeting is everywhere. The street arts are beautiful. And the scenery and weather is, I think, at that moment it was very cold without snow. I think that the most thing that I regret the most was not experiencing snow.
Yeah.
But I think we Malaysians think even without snow we are freezing cold.
Yes.
It's
Shaking,
very
literally.
shaking, like
Shivering.
in the cold freezer. But I really, for me, like as a person that really likes cold weather, I really like that very much with the great scenery and the sunrise. The sunrise is very, very beautiful. So I really appreciate Japan and my time there very much. And I think that is all from me. I hope you could learn something from me. So thank you. Arigato gozaimasu.
Okay, thank you so much, Maisara. I guess next one is myself. So for my sharing, I will be focusing on more about the values actually of Japanese people. So next, the first tip that I want to kind of show you is the punctuality, as mentioned by Aini and also Maisara. Basically, they really look heavily on this topic itself. And as you can see, I've met actually one of the Vietnamese person who work at Japan, and I asked him for one advice, like the most critical advice that he could give me, and he literally translated in Vietnamese language to me that he said that I think the most important thing in Japan to follow rules and schedule. So it shows that how important punctuality actually is for Japanese people. Even for those who came from Southeast Asia, they also agree that the most important thing there is punctuality. And in Malaysia, we know it's kind of a bit santai or laid back. It's not a bad thing, but it's something that we have to adjust to if we want to go to Japan. Yes. Okay, move on. And the second one, I guess, has been taught by many, which is a transport. One thing I want to highlight here is actually the last picture, which is, as you can see, it is a navigation system in a taxi. So in the taxi, you still remember the first night we went to the hotel with by taxi because we don't have
Expensive fare.
yeah, it is quite high, but because we don't have any public transport available during that time. But as you can see, that is why it is the in a high stake, because the system navigation system itself is implemented in the taxi. So it is something which we don't have here in Malaysia, which their taxi system is so well done that that is why they don't have really a lot of other competitors to compete with the taxi in Japan. So that's why their transportation system is actually much more better than most of the countries in the world. I can say, yeah. So we in Malaysia, I think that is something that we can work on. Malaysia, we have a nice transport system, but there are something that we can really improve on. Yes. Okay. Move on to the next one is the language. I like how in Japan we actually have a lot of translations. As you can see here, even for the tax-free procedure, this maybe just because we went to the stations so that we can see a lot of signs that has different languages because it's for foreigners. But I believe in some areas, because we went to Usonomiya. Usonomiya is not really somewhere that many people go to. So I would say that it is something that's common in Japan, that they have translations. So this itself is something that I myself feel like is a plus point if you really want to travel in Japan. Especially it is one of the most one of the best country that you can go to, right? So with these additional what do you call it, little details, yes, that they put in, so we can see the effort of trying to pull in the travelers from the other countries.
Feel welcome.
Yes, we feel very welcome. Like you can see there are English, there are Mandarin and all that. So this itself makes it very unique. In Malaysia we also have this, but maybe we can add Japanese language. You don't know? Yeah. Right. Okay. Next one. Okay, next I would like to touch on the point of politeness or formality. As we some of the audience might not know, actually in Japan, their language system, there are two types of language that you use. One is the informal language and one is the formal language. So even in their language itself, they divided the formality and non-formal. So you know how they respect people, that if you don't know someone that is a stranger, you usually use the formal language. So it feel like you are being respected instead of you just like in our language sometimes we don't use you and whatsoever. We feel like it's rude, we just call them by their name or Mr. So you can see this being implemented in Japan. Okay, right, next. And the last one is the hidden gems. Okay, so I would like to highlight the first image that you can see there is actually an innovation. So we know there are a lot of innovations in Japan. We saw it, right?
A lot.
And then the scenery, as mentioned by Maisara, and also like I like the scenery. You must go to Japan once if you have the opportunity. And fellow viewers, if you have the money, if you have the opportunity, go there. Right. So I think that is all basically from me. I think we shall move on to our next panel here, the last one, which is Iliana. Okay, the floor is yours.
Okay, I think I'm the one who will be sharing the last presentation. I mean, like last sharing. Okay, so for my sharing, okay, can you go next slide? All right. So the first one is like what I can observe and what I am reflecting from my trip to Japan is like the first one is culture discipline and social harmony. And for my from my observation, like the Japanese people, they really prioritize group harmony. Like they prioritize harmony, quietness over like they don't really like the aspiration or maybe like some noise like that. And if we
True.
if we notice in like train, they all the people was like quiet.
Yeah.
We don't
Silence.
it's silence, and we don't
Totally
really talk a lot. We like if we if we Malaysian, we just first came there, we just like whisper to with each other, like we want to respect them. And then other than that, what I noticed is that the queue when we're queuing when the trains arrive, like there is a queue, and then people will just like queuing without needing like we because
Needing
there
to be pushy.
need to be too pushy or not. Everyone was like quiet and calm and just wait for the train to arrive on time. The train arrive on time, and this actually affect the daily life because like people will like became people will cooperate with each other without needing any instructions. And then other than that, I think because of like their respectfulness, like in Japan the streets like is very clean. Like what I need
Really,
said earlier
yes.
is really clean, and like they are orders there. Like they have their cultural discipline and social harmony that they have been like practicing maybe like
It's been
since their
embedded.
yeah, it's been embedded in their culture, I think.
Mm.
And then like I noticed that students and workers there, they are like will clean their own space, like any space,
Mm.
yeah, study space or anything. They'll just clean themselves what they have left. And then from this situation, I mean like from this culture discipline, I noticed that discipline actually doesn't really need reinforcement when culture actually already supports it.
True, true.
So and then for me the respect is not from the respect is a lifestyle and not actually a rule if it's already embedded in our culture like
Yes.
that. And that's like all right, next. Okay, the next one is the efficiency and innovation in daily life. So from what they have actually shared is about the public transport efficiency. The trains there actually will arrive punctual on time, so they really like stress on the punctuality. And it's over like even the seconds they will measure the seconds.
Yeah.
It's never
Yes, yes.
it's not even
It's not
late
just
for a
minutes.
second.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the millisecond.
the
Yes.
second is not even late for the second for the trains. And then like I said earlier, people like respectfully queuing when boarding on trains or maybe buses or LRT. And then there's a convenience culture. There's like convenience store. There's a lot of kombini. Where's like yeah,
Yes,
convenience
yes.
like Lawson, 7-Eleven, and we always
Family Mart.
yeah,
We love
name
that.
it.
yeah,
Yes,
we love
we
that
love
because
that.
because like when we go there when we go there we can buy
Yeah,
our
there's so
meals.
many.
Yeah, so many meals, and can just like what we call that thing
Onigiri.
onigiri.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
onigiri.
always buy onigiri late at night. And then the other thing is about the vending machine there. So in Japan there's a lot of vending machine everywhere. You can find vending machine for like toys, and then for like food, drinks, and even hot meals. There are a lot of vending machine, and this make the daily life for Japanese people is become more systematic and also like
Yes,
smoother because
exactly.
they have their innovation, that innovation. And then the next slide. Okay, the last one is that the values there. So I kind of find that Japanese style of hospitality, what we call in English just now, I need
Otomonashi.
autonomous
I think otomonashi.
autonomous.
Autonomous.
Okay, so their hospitality, like they are really genuine. Like there's a quiet kindness rather than like they are really like genuine in giving hugs and
Yes.
hospitality to people. Like even like when they're packing our stuff, like we went to donkey, right?
Oh,
Donkey. Yeah, we went to
Yeah.
donkey, and they were wrapping our stuff, and they really like
They're very
actually
careful.
yeah,
Yes,
very
yes.
careful, and they like make sure our stuff is like
Being
Doesn't
wrapped
leak.
properly.
Yes, it's put
doesn't offer,
properly.
yeah,
Yes.
it's a good thing that I've noticed from Japanese style of
Japanese
hospitality. And then they will like, even though like we all agree that their English is like still in
They're strict.
We don't really.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
still
they're really
boundary between
yeah,
us
there's still
in terms of
boundaries
that.
between
Yes.
us in speaking English, but they are willing to help us
Really.
Yes.
to
Yes. Yes.
communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
even
very.
like
They try
with
their best.
yeah,
Yes.
with
They try
like
With the
their
sign
best.
language,
yeah,
body
with sign language
language. Yeah.
gestures. And then I want to shop, I want to shop, and we already late. But because like there is something like we have arrived there like a bit late, but
Mhm.
she's still willing to help me to get tax-free things. Even like
Wow.
even I think that is a
Very
good thing.
professional.
Yeah, very professional. Even when they really value the punctuality, and then I think this have resulting in that feeling of safety in Japan. Like even
Mm.
like when we're on the night when we go somewhere, we're being comfortable at working. Like you know, we don't feel like really scared of
Yes,
traveling.
yes,
like
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
exactly.
See, the village area is
Like we
Yeah,
know
yeah,
it's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be safe. Yes.
Yeah.
Like we felt safe even like when
There's
yeah
drunk
when the
people
nights
on the
are-
street.
So
Like,
drunk.
that's their
Don't
culture.
say that.
That's their
Don't say
culture.
that. Yeah,
That's their culture.
But still, we don't feel like triggered or we don't.
Yes.
We don't feel threatened.
We still
Yeah,
know
we don't
that.
feel
Yeah,
threatened.
It's their
it's still
norm,
going to be
yeah.
It's their
safe
norm,
there. Yes.
Yes, and then like I think there they are they kind of busy cities actually, but they're
Yeah.
not chaotic, right? Maybe because they works
Yeah.
in order,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, systematic.
they are so
Yes, yes.
systematic and they
Very organized.
organized
True.
people like that. And then I think because of that, like Japan's safety and hospitality, like they create a welcoming environment for
Yeah.
others
True,
in daily
true.
life, right?
In
Like,
Japan.
like we feel welcome, and then
Yes.
when we go there, we feel like I'm going there again.
Yes,
like
yes.
Yeah,
they
totally.
treat us
Yes,
with
true.
better us, maybe like
Yeah.
much better.
When we have
They
way.
try
extra
to
money, of
help
course.
us
Yeah.
and all that.
One day
One
soon.
yeah.
One day, yes.
Like
Yeah.
maybe like if we have some more money, we will like manage our
Adult money.
Yeah,
adult
adult
Yes.
money
money.
and
We'll
just
go
traveling
to-
to Japan once again.
Yeah.
And for the
Yes.
viewers out there, yes,
Yes.
take the opportunity if
Take
you
the
get one.
opportunity.
Yes.
Fly to Japan.
Yes,
Okay.
fly.
Fly.
Just go.
Okay,
Don't think twice.
Yes.
Twice.
Go to Japan. You
Yeah.
will never regret it.
Book that
Okay.
flight ticket now.
Yes.
All right.
It's cheap
Okay.
now.
I think that's all for our sharing session, right?
Okay.
I think
Right. Okay, thank you so much. So I guess that is all for the four of us. Thank you so much for your attention, and we would like to meet you again in probably, let's hope, there are next trip. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Maybe.
Okay, so with that, I would like to say thank you so much again, and have a nice, wonderful morning, evening, night, whatever. Okay, see you guys next time. Bye bye.